Hello my viewers, welcome back to the channel. And by the video title, you know what this video is about. Steelers training camp day 1 review. Training camp is finally back. Football is finally back. We finally get to see our Pittsburgh Steelers go out there and play football. I saw this meme on Twitter with a Steelers page posted where they had the puzzles. They had their whole body like in puzzles, and they had one piece of the puzzle missing, and it said Steeler football. That was the piece of the puzzle that's missing for our lives. We need that Steeler football in it. People might call us crazy, be like, "You guys just loving the football and stuff," but hey, something about I don't know, I love the Steelers. I love the Steelers, and not just about the football, of course, like that, but it's just about like I don't know the determination, the heart the players put into it. I just love competing. I just love competing like that. At any level, anything competitive, I will watch it. I just love competition at all the levels, like the lowest levels and the highest levels. And I love watching the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's a team that I identify with because they just have that heart and soul, that grit and that toughness to go out there, to not care what happens, just to go out there and put everything you got on the line and go out there and win. And training camp has some good things that happen. So first thing first, we've seen Dan Moore take some first team reps. Of course, we kind of figured this was going to happen because Dan Moore would be the one starting off initially. In my opinion, I think Broderick Jones, of course, will get the job in the end. But the Steelers, like I mentioned before in the past, they do not just give you things just because of your status. They say, "Oh, he came over here. He's a first round draft pick. We traded up to get him the 14th pick, so he's going to be the starter right off the back." No, they want to see how you perform and how you act and how you like your mentality. Basically is like where your mind state is going to be and how you're going to go out there and compete when your back is against the wall and when you're like, okay, you're not given to you, and you had to go out there and earn it. Like that, you're like, okay, you might have earned it. You might have got given it to you at Georgia or wherever you, or like in high school, you might have been the best guy there. But hey, here you have to earn it. I don't care if he was the first pick of the draft like that. You're gonna have to earn your spot on the team, and that's exactly what the Steelers are doing. And Broderick Jones, I think he's a competitor. He's gonna go out there and compete at the highest levels and go out there and just help his team win. Also, another thing too as well, I was seeing him like do some reps with the second team. He was like kind of fast, showing some, you're kind of fast and like very reactive and stuff, getting out of his getting to the stance, and I feel like he's gonna be something nice to see. Broderick Jones is that dynamic piece that the Steelers been missing in the O-line. I'm telling you, if you watch his Georgia stuff and he can translate that to the NFL, to the pro level, like the team think he can, he's gonna be special because he's gonna have to run game out a lot. He can get to the next level. He's very athletic. He's a big guy, but he's very athletic. He's very mobile. He can get out there to the next level and create those second level blocks and get down the field and just be that leading blocker to help the run game and just be that guy who you can lean on in the future. So hopefully that battle goes well with Dan Moore and Broderick Jones. We're going to see what happens as the weeks progress. Another thing I like that I saw too as well was some of the deep play calling. I've seen some more deep play calling. We've seen some play actions. We've seen Kenny Pickett go out there and deliver some nice balls. We've seen Anthony McFarland catch one, D.S.A. Johnson and Pat Freiermuth, different ones like that. Some nice plays down the field. We've seen the Steelers kind of like lean more towards that. Last year, our playbook was kind of like condensed. It felt like we was just using about 10, 12 plays. It seemed like it, and just rotating between them. We'll see either a running inside, or we see some type of draw, or we'll see like an outside play or some sweeps, receiver sweeps that I'm not going to see ever again. And we'll see some screen passes and, like some out routes. But this time we've seen some cool stuff. We've seen some nice little wheel route from McFarland. We've seen some routes like getting down the field, attacking the middle of the field. We've seen a play action pass they did, D.S.A. Johnson catching it on the little crosser route. So it's always cool to like mix it up a little bit because the play action will be a big part in this year's offense. I feel like, especially if the O-line is now buffed up and beefed up, so you can actually hold the ball in your hand and actually throw some fakes. Especially the run game is working as well. You can set it up perfectly when guys like George Pickens and Calvin Austin, all the other guys you have on the team, they can get down the field. D.S.A. Johnson, they can get down the field and make plays. And I feel like this is going to be a nice play scheme for the team like that, using our run game extension to our pass by setting up play action as well and just getting down the field. And Kenny Pickett has a lot of fans, a lot of players have a trust in him. A lot of people around the organization have trust in him. They all ball into him, and now he's getting the first team reps, not splitting it with Mr. Trubisky or doing all the other things we did last year. He's getting the first team reps here. We're gonna see how he performs when he get the first team reps, when he's the bona fide starter for the whole entire time of the year, instead of them trying to like ease into things. Now he's a full-time starter. We're gonna see how Kenny develops, and that's my main thing I had on last video. I was talking about the things I want to see Things I hope to see in training camp, the development of Kenny Pickett and George Pickens. I want to see them guys get better because those are the future of the offense. GP, KP, and Najee. It's it rhymes a little bit. GP, KP, and Najee. They're the future of the offense, and those are going to be the guys, the driving force of the team. So hopefully they can keep getting better and better and better. Another thing we've seen also was the secondary, which is I'm very excited to see about secondary. One of the things I'm looking forward to. Secondary, of course, looks very, 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 very promising. You look at the depth chart. You look at guys like, of course, Mika Fitzpatrick being the best safety in the league, 3 first-team All-Pro selections in the past 4 years. You got guys like Patrick Peterson, the future Hall of Famer. You got JPJ out there, who we drafted in the second round. The first pick really should have been a first-round pick as well, but kind of like the thing. It counted as a second-round pick because of who lost their pick. It was somebody who lost their pick. The Dolphins. The Dolphins lost their pick because of the little scandal, the cheating little scandal, like kind of like contacting Tom Brady when he was still under contract and stuff, tampering and all that type of stuff. And then the GM, they had something about the owner forcing the forcing the coach to lose games on purpose and stuff. Yeah, a lot of things that's going on over there at the Dolphins. But they lost their pick, so that pick was their second pick. Well, it was the first pick, but really their second pick. And I think it's a steal pick right there. JPJ dropped down to that spot. I kind of figured he would go to the Steelers. The Steelers was looking for him the whole time. Now I thought we maybe get him first, but after you've seen how some of the cornerbacks kind of dropped a little bit, and some of the guys are getting dropped, you probably say, we might can get a steal. We probably can get an old lineman right here, and then we can take a cornerback like JPJ later down like that because he's dropping right there to that spot. And JPJ is going to be special. We've seen him today go out there and play some good press coverage defense, and he went out there and went straight to work. It was no like, we're going to see him easing to things. He went out there and went straight to work. He didn't care who was standing across from him. He was lined up with Calvin Austin and all type of people like that. He didn't care who was right there. He went out there and went straight to work, had some pass breakups, and just made some big-time plays. They put him in the nickel spot. They also put him they put Patrick Peterson in the slot, too, as well, like that. Had him mixing up as well. And that's what I love about the secondary, the versatility of the team. You got JPJ, Patrick Peterson, Levi Wallace, Keanu Neal, DeMonte Casey, of course, Mika Fitzpatrick, Corey Trice, all these different guys who are very versatile. They're not just one-dimensional players. They can play a little bit of everything. And that opens up a lot more. And when play calling and schemes is too, we have a guy who is willing to move. Some guys don't want to move. They be like, I want to move. I want to play this one position right here. But some guys who have that ability and athleticism and that mentality as well to like play different positions and knowing what to do and knowing all different techniques to use in those positions, in those spots, and feel comfortable in those spots and positions. It makes your team just better like that. And it creates a lot of opportunities for a lot of people as well. When you have you have more than one skill. When you're just one-dimensional, you got to be very good at being one-dimensional. Like Derrick Henry is a one-dimensional player, but he's very, very good at being one-dimensional, just running the ball. He might catch a few passes here and there, but he's just downhill running, give you about 1,500, 1,600 rushing yards a season like that. But sometimes, if you're not like very dominant in that one spot, you gotta add a little extra to your game like that. Being able to catch, being able to do this or that, block or some other things. So I feel like it's always good to have versatility as a player. But another thing too that I like as well, the team is also just like the message, just like the message and the feel of the team as well. The jerseys look a little weird. The jerseys look a little different with the white and the yellow on the sleeves. It look a little different like that, but I like the message around the team. The team like looking like they look hungry. And when my channel was saying, he's like saying like now or never gotta get things right, we get things done, and they just look hungry. They look feisty. They look like they just want to make a point and prove a statement and prove themselves right like that. Because a lot of people have been saying the Steelers not the same organization they once were in the past. They don't have that same fire, that same championship goal mentality. But I think it's time for us to get back to that Stairway to 7. Stairway to 7, get that 7 championship title to let them know and remind them of who we are. Another thing too, there's few players I feel like were playing kind of like for their spots or for their job a little bit. And McFarland made a few good plays in training camp. I don't know if they're gonna be using McFarland a lot because I feel like if you have Najee Harris, who's a starter of course, and you have Jalen Warren, who will be getting a lot of reps too as well, who'll be playing some good minutes. Not say good minutes like basketball. Who'll be playing some good snaps as well. I feel like they really don't need Anthony McFarland too much. I think Benny Snell, is Benny Snell's on the team? I think Benny Snell is still on the team. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comment section down below. But I think if they're falling, I think he can play a little bit of kick return and punt return. If he can play that, they might can use him in those situations or in that sense a little bit. And I feel like it'll help a lot. I know Gunner is another guy too on this list I have named too as well, who's a guy maybe playing for a spot. But he might get a spot automatically since he's since receiving core set up a little bit, he might be there. But I don't know if he's going to be a starter for the kick return or punt return position. And of course, Kendrick Green, when he used to be our starting center a few years ago, before Mason Cole took over. Mason Cole took over last year, I believe. Yeah, last year Mason Cole took over. But we had Kendrick Green, who was our starter a few years ago, and he was undersized. That's not his position. He was undersized as a center, as a starter as a center. Then he really was built to be like a offensive guard, a guard or something like that. But they kind of put him as a center, and he's undersized. He used to just get ran over and get ran through, and we could never create no force, no push from that spot either. So I don't know. He might have opportunities maybe to play the right position that he wanted to play, to maybe get a spot. Because it's always good to have offensive line depth, certain situations and things. But I feel like those guys right there are the three guys who you look out for to say like, they might not, if they all go out there and do something crazy or dramatic, they might not be here. Another guy who's not on our team, but who's in the headlines of the news when you're looking around and things and you're following stuff. I was watching a lot. I was on for a while. I was like scrolling through, refreshing. I wish I could be there in person. That'd be cool. Maybe one day. But I was refreshing. Saw a lot of different videos, a lot of different pictures, a lot of different. I was following a lot of different reporters and seeing different things about what's going on, the incomplete passing, all the play calling, everything like that. Just looking at everything. And then Joe Burrow news popped up. Joe Burrow went down with an injury. I saw the video. It was a non-contact injury. Now you're hoping it's not nothing crazy, nothing bad. especially as Bengal fans are hoping that too as well. And me as a football fan, I don't want to ever see a player get hurt at all like that. Joe Burrow's a great player, in my opinion. Second best quarterback, of course, behind Patrick Mahomes. I feel like Joe Burrow and Mahomes are the only two elite quarterbacks in the league. I feel like everybody else is. There's other guys who are almost elite, but I think those are the two best quarterbacks in the league because I have no questions about them. I know what they can do. I have no questions about anything on the field. I'm like, can they make the play? I have no questions about them making plays. And Joe Burrow is an amazing player. In the video, I thought it was a cramp initially at first, but the way it looked like non-contact, they said the leg injury. I said maybe it's a cramp. It's hot. And, maybe he had an ankle sprain. The quarterback not getting touched in practice, of course. But then I see him he did a run. He kind of spazzed up. And sometimes you see that, you see plays like that. It's kind of like Achilles when you get non-contact and you look back. An Achilles injury will be very bad. And that'll put him out indefinitely for the season. But hopefully it's just something, maybe a calf strain. He'd be out for a few days or maybe the rest of the week. And they can they probably bring him back next week. We'll see how things shape out. But that right there is a big news. So there's a lot of other players too who went down with a few injuries and things are happening. I know some guys, some people use turf field, some people use real field. I think the Bengals use real grass field. Of course, Bengals cheap, they ain't get on turf. And the Bengals use real grass field. They used to practice outside. I remember all the time, 24/7. They had a little dome thing when it was raining and stuff. But I think some teams had a turf still. And remember Sterling Shepard, he was talking about last year, about the turf fields. We treat ACL because you guys ever play on turf before? I play on turf. We play 7-on-7 sometimes for fun. And go out there and little different things. There are a lot of people out there just playing football, different teams, different people out there just coming in, playing. But the turf field is not good. It's bad. I hate turf field. I like playing on grass because turf field, it's like your cleats. I remember one time I pulled my groin. Like for your teeth, your cleats get stuck in the like a net thing like that because the grass not real like that. It's artificial and stuff. So it gets stepped on. And sometimes your cleat gets stuck and you feel like you jerk one way and get pulled out the other way. And sometimes it be slippery too. The turf gets slippery as well. And I see a lot of people slip and fall and hurt themselves. They slip. And sometimes you're running full speed and you making a football play and your legs might be spread, so you slip and you pull something, your hamstring or anything that might happen. So turf is not a good place to play on. But hopefully they figure that out. Maybe make all the fields you guys can go out there. You can hire some people to take care of the grass, make sure the grass is nice and stuff. You can have to just do turf the whole time. So I feel like maybe they should invest in that. NFL should do more in that. But hopefully Joe Burrow is good. But that's all I got for this video today for the Steelers training camp day number 1. I'm gonna do an NFL update probably on. I might do an NFL one later this week like that, talking about some other things. I know I got a video coming out too about the running backs. the running back market in the NFL, that's a good topic to discuss. A lot of different questions, a lot of different people discussing that, talking about the running backs getting paid or treated fairly and all types of stuff. But we're going to get into that next video. But if you like this video, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Peace out.